Suzuki Raider has established a very strong foothold in our country. This is definitely one of the most successful products that Suzuki has released. It is the pinnacle of underbones according to Suzuki, and many wouldn't disagree. In recent years, Honda and Yamaha have released their versions of pinnacle motorcycles in the sub-200cc category and have achieved their goals to a certain extent. Yet, despite the added competition in the market, this motorcycle still has a strong following. To me, the premium underbones released by the Big Three seem to be equally capable and reliable. Sure, they might have little differences in the engine and tire departments, but overall I don't feel you'd lose no matter which bike you choose to buy. It's all a matter of preference. It's all about finding out which one suits you and your riding priorities the best. However, there is one advantage that this motorcycle has that the other two don't have. It is the longevity in its resume. They started selling the Raider 150 in 2004, so the carbureted version is about 16 years old in our country. Though they've refreshed it throughout the years, majority of them seem to be minor changes. I guess if it ain't broke, you shouldn't fix it. I'm not sure, but Suzuki has probably sold over 1 million Raiders in our country. And that feat isn't easy. With the price tag of the carbureted version being close to 100,000 pesos, it's far from being considered as the cheapest reliable motorcycle in the country. It might not be the cheapest, but it certainly won't disappoint you with the thrill it provides due to its raw power. And that's one of the things that make young men, as well as their fathers, crave for. This motorcycle is the envy of your next door neighbor. If you're lucky, this motorcycle might even get you a lovely girlfriend or two. After 16 years, it still remains to be amongst the top of every young motorcyclist's wish list. In terms of specifications, this motorcycle easily is one of the most powerful motorcycles in the underbone category. Pound for pound, it might actually be the most powerful. And don't get me wrong, despite the praises, there are also a lot of people who dislike this bike as well for various reasons. Some people might associate this bike with the word trouble, not because of its quality, but because of some of the culture around some of its users. Overspeeding and aggressive riding are some of the things people might associate with Raider owners. Some of it might be true, but it shouldn't be correct to think that all of them ride irresponsibly. Whether or not it's true, that's what some people seem to believe. One thing for sure is that this bike has attitude written all over it. And that is what the youth seem to be drawn to. Also, after being in service for a lengthy 16 years in our country, the specs of this overachiever still serves as the baseline when it comes to performance-oriented underbones. And that is something everyone should have respect for. So, what are the specifications of this bike? Let's find out by taking a closer look on both the carbureted and fuel-injected versions. The carbureted version comes in multiple delicious colors. Subtle changes in the engine cover paint scheme are also much appreciated. I absolutely adore the Combat series. The decals in them look so unique and badass. Whenever I see these on the streets, I drool so much as they look so perfectly clean yet rugged at the same time. It's like a G-Shock on two wheels. It gives me difficulty to choose which is better looking, as the matte gray Combat is just as pretty as the matte black. Moving on to the black gold, the uniqueness of its bronze painted engine cover is enough to get attention. It's like wearing gold chains on your wrist or a gangster earring on your left ear. This colorway would probably look extra good when newly washed and waxed. The red version is sporty. I like that they did paint the rims red too. Also, the gold colored engine cover makes this one extra special. The yellow, I believe, is a new release. Seeing it in person is refreshing. It is something that is definitely attention-grabbing. Regarding the blue one, you can't go wrong with it as it looks so sporty and cool. The yellow decals really make this shine. I think this is what a lot of people would appreciate. The matte black is so good looking in person. Its gold painted engine cover makes it extra yummy. I also have seen a matte gray model somewhere which I thought was one of the best looking Raiders as it looked so clean. Some owners of these matte models have even removed the decals to make their motorcycles more unique. With or without stickers, I think any of the matte versions is what I'd pick if I had some extra cash lying around to buy another motorcycle. Regarding its headlight design, I have to be honest. I didn't have much appreciation for it when I first saw it. It looked weird. I think I have utilitarian eyes in that everything has to be straight and well proportioned for it to look good. So, this to me is something that grows on you. It's something that you'd appreciate after spending some time with it. Other people might like that design, so I wouldn't want to make negative conclusions about it, nor do I have enough art expertise to do so. What I could say is that I appreciate it now much more than before. And I don't know what the blue part at the center of the headlight is for, but it looks striking, and that's good. It has a 147.3 cc oil-cooled 4-valve dual overhead cam engine. It has 6 gears. It has a sticker price of 97,900 pesos. It's oil-cooled, so it doesn't have a radiator, which I think is enough, since I haven't heard of a lot of posts coming from Raider owners letting us know that they're having overheating issues. Plus, Suzuki's engineers must have concluded that having a radiator isn't necessary for this model. Hence, less parts means less maintenance. It has both electric and kick starters, which is handy. I have to admit, I don't know how to interpret torque figures, so I'm not going to include it in this overview. The headlights are traditional and not LED, which is fine. I think all underbones and small displacement scooters have equally bad headlights in the first place. LED or not, you may want to add auxiliary lights if you're going to travel mostly at night, as visibility is most likely as good as any underbone headlight could give, and that's not a compliment. I think equipping underbones with powerful headlights is something all manufacturers don't do very well. Its tires are tubeless, which is good as it lessens the chances of becoming totally flat when punctured. They're also thinly profiled, which a lot of people seem to like. The front tire is 70 by 90 thick, while the rear is 80 by 90. It is also equipped with both front and rear disc brakes. In the future, I hope they release a premium underbone motorcycle which is equipped with ABS on both front and rear wheels. The thin profile of this bike overall makes this look like a motorized bicycle. This is just a bizarre assumption, but I think if they sold underbones in a city like New York, this design profile would probably be one of the hits. Everything is designed to be light to maximize speed. This is what the Raider series is all about. Regarding comfort, according to some riders, it may cause arm discomfort during long rides. This bike overall is probably not the most comfortable bike to use during long rides. In spite of that, many seem to endure these challenges without much fuss. I could be wrong, but I will make my conclusion that all but a few underbones and small scooters suffer the same issue when it comes to pain in your butt after 1 or 2 hours of riding. I think a few bikes like the Suzuki Gixxer, which is a standard but small-engined motorcycle, is something you may want to try out if you'd want to have minimal butt discomfort during long trips. Nevertheless, your body would probably adapt to the Raider's riding style in time. I just hope that manufacturers would release more bikes that emphasize on body ergonomics in the future. Let's now discuss the Raider FI. From its name, you'd be right to assume that one of the key differences it has over the carbureted version is that it's already fuel injected. That means that theoretically it's going to be more fuel efficient and slightly powerful. The carbureted version has a reputation of being one of the least economical bikes in the underbone segment. But don't let that discourage you. Some of that still depends on some things you can control, like how well your carbureted Raider is tuned up and how aggressively you twist the throttle. Look at it this way, the carbureted version is still going to be a lot more economical than your typical sedan, and that's a very good thing. Going back to the FI, they've also equipped it with a radiator which will be more efficient in preventing its powerful fuel-injected engine from overheating. Another thing is that regular engine tune-up sessions wouldn't be as necessary on a fuel-injected engine. Tuning a carbureted engine of a small displacement motorcycle isn't the hardest thing to do, but it's something that you wouldn't have to do on a fuel-injected engine. The FI version is probably a little bit easier to take care of in terms of maintenance, in that you'd only need to do regular oil changes and replace parts due to wear and tear. I don't know how important the FI cleaning is, but I've never heard of typical fuel-injected cars needing this type of service, at least not until hundreds of thousands of kilometers. I'm no expert, but it's probably something you shouldn't worry about too much. Overall, they should both be pretty simple to maintain. One upgrade that the FI version gets regarding convenience is the inclusion of a small compartment between yourself and its digital panel. This is something really useful and easily accessible. To me, this is a major ergonomic upgrade and I really appreciate that the FI version has this. It looks like cigarette packs, sunglasses, or your riding gloves could easily fit in this handy storage compartment. I know this might be a minimal upgrade for some, but to me, it's a very big deal. Regarding aesthetics, the FI version looks more modern overall. It definitely looks different but not so much in terms of dimensions, which is good. It costs 109,900 pesos, making it 12,000 pesos more expensive than its carbureted brother. It also has an LED headlight, which from what I've heard, doesn't equate to it being more powerful necessarily. On Suzuki's website, it has 5 colorways, with the black model being the clean-looking one. The red one is convincingly sporty. They've also retained the classic blue version, which is probably the go-to choice for those who are having a hard time deciding which color to pick. They also have matte red and matte blue on their website. I haven't seen these yet in person, but they look so delicious and clean. Here are some more of my assumptions. Seasoned riders who have a lot of passion with customizing their Raiders engine might opt to get the carbureted version. Motorcyclists who don't want to spend above 100,000 pesos might choose the carbureted one as well. The FI version is going to be more maintenance-free, but not by much. It depends on which design you like more. Both of these bikes have aesthetic qualities that appeal to different types of buyers. This isn't an assumption, but I hope they release an ABS version of either of these bikes in the future. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos.